All right, now it's time to save and submit our project. So once you're happy with your texture fills, and remember that you can play with their color as well as their levels, to show you kind of what the yellowish of the texture fill could do, or the bluish, make it a little bit more evening. It's all very subtle, but it can be really add an interesting dimension to your image. And again, it's all about the quality of your selections and how well you kind of integrate the different aspects. So it's opened it up a lot, and it gives me this nice kind of progression of foreground to background using that texture fill. It all feels pretty seamless. Now the things that are in sharp focus, they work a little bit better. Going to take a chunk of it, chunk of that texture, duplicate it, move it down the top there, and then erase away from its edges. 100% opacity. So there's lots of ways you can kind of play with it, make it do what you want. Okay, so now once you have your image all finished, now it's time to crop down directly to it, right down to your clipping mask. Well, not your clipping mask, but your viewing frame that you gave yourself. And hit return. Make sure all of your edges, you don't have any white showing. And that's going to get rid of a lot of excess memory. Oh, it looks like there's some white showing still, so let me do it again. It can be hard to get cropped to do exactly what you want, because it's a little finicky. So I'll often end up using the arrow keys to perfect it. Okay. So now I've got the image cropped like I want. It's the finished image. I first save it as a Photoshop file with all these different layers. Very important, because later we'll be putting another image into this, compositing in a creature. So Carl Digital Assignment 1 to the desktop. And then we're going to save it again. Once it finished saving, these can get pretty big. And save as a JPEG to put up to PhotoBucket, same name, to the desktop. Now, since these images are so big, you want to use a quality that's not small, but also not larger than 5 megabytes when it's previewed. So I have to take it down, and 10. I usually will save between 10 and 12. 10 is perfect for me, puts it right under 5 megabytes to the desktop as a JPEG. I can hit F11, make sure it's there. So there's my JPEG, gonna mark that as orange. Gonna mark my final PSD as green. And then I can close Photoshop out. Now if you wanna keep your original file as well, the Photoshop file that you started with today, with more of the empty space around it, sometimes I'll put in to the name final. And then in my folder, under my assignments, I'll have my progress Photoshop file right there, and then my final Photoshop file, which is all finished. The JPEG is going to go up to the class photo bucket. You want to navigate to the right folder, which is the Fantasy Assignment 1 Fantasy Landscape. That's where you put yours. I'm going to put mine under Instructor Demonstrations. And there's two things you're going to be uploading. Your finished project, but also your sketches. So I go to my assignment folder and I get my JPEG sketches. Where did I say that? Put that onto the desktop as well. File management, so important. Be such a pain sometimes. All right, so I'm going to copy that onto the desktop just so I can easily upload that as well. So the best way to upload, go to the right folder, then click upload up here, and that will force you to title it. Or will give you an easy place to title it with your name. I'm going to upload that one and upload this one. And my sketches, I'm going to call my name and then the number 1. First name is just fine. We don't have anyone with the same first name in this class. And your sketch should upload right away. It's small, but your assignment should be under 5 megabytes. But it'll take a little bit longer, and I'm going to call that my name with the number 2. Then you can go right to your folder. Yours will be the assignment folder, and you'll see it there. And I'm just going to organize mine into the right place. And the reason you have to name it always the same way, just use your name and numbers, no descriptions, is so that they will automatically, when we organize them by title, they'll automatically go in the right place. So my latest examples, I want my sketch to show up before my finished piece. All right. And that will be the last thing you need to do for your final assignment. Make sure your name shows up. Otherwise, I have to do digging to figure out whose work it is. So if it says add title underneath under organize, you need to go in and put your name there. And to group the right sketch with the right image.
What size did you say to make the JPEG?
So the JPEG, you're not going to change the resolution. You're just going to change the quality of the JPEG compression so that the preview shows that it will be under 5 megabytes. For me, that was at a quality of 10, which is still plenty high. And that's it. And then we'll critique them.